Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Fade, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. This is episode number 204. We got 5 beats, 5 reviews. That's what we do. And, let's get into it right away. First up, we've got Bangers 8888 with 8-Ball Corner Pocket. Let's check it out. Right. Okay, so that was Bangers 8888 with 8-Ball Corner Pocket. So this one, I like the drum pattern. That's really good. No complaints there. It just sounds really good. And the bass is a good bass line. However, I just think that the bass line and the kick drum are a little bit on the heavy side in the mix. Okay, so I like the sounds that you have, the main melody and whatnot, and the way you change everything up. Like, that aspect of it is very, very good. I just think overall, really, this beat, it's just a matter of tightening up the mix a bit, just about the levels, really. I mean, it's not like you got to do anything drastic. I think it's just a matter of, making sure that the bass is, a little bit under control and the melody pops a little more, because just listening to it right away, I'm thinking to myself, it just sounds, very heavy on the low end, and that's okay, but it's just because of the melody, it sounds kind of like a happy melody almost, or something like that. So that, and then the low end, kind of not clashes, but I don't know, it just kind of levels out that way. Like, it sounds like a happy beat in a way, but then it's not, So anyway, I think it's just a matter of just leveling off the fixing the levels in the mix, I should say, and then tightening up the bass line especially, and you'd be good to go. All right, so next up we've got DJ Fattest with Third Base. Let's check it out. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so that was DJ Fattest with Third Base. So for this one, what I would say is, first of all, I like it. It's a good beat. It's just, I think that the main issue is the bass line. I would say, like, just change up the bass line. Like, not just the pattern, but the sound itself. And sometimes that's what it just boils down to when you're making a beat. Like, you have everything, it just seems like everything's in the right spot, but then there's just something that's missing or something that needs to change. So in this case, I would say, yeah, the bass line, it's just the sound of that bass line. Like, you know, a lot of times I try to go for, like, something that's bassy. I mean, that's the type of beats that I make, whatever. But sometimes when I do try to go for, like, a saw bass, I want to try to integrate that into my beat somehow. But I don't know, for my style, I just don't really, you know, find a way to really integrate it. So in this case, like, you know, it's kind of like that. Like, this bass doesn't really match the rest, I find. So I would say get a different bass sound. And the pattern, it doesn't have to be a, you know, complex pattern or whatever, but just something that goes with those drums. Those are good drums and all that. And I do like the sounds you have, like on the right. Then you have the vocal snippet and all that stuff. That's okay, but I would recommend just at some point or another to just have, like, a little breakdown where you bring in maybe, like, some strings. I was just thinking strings right off the bat when I heard that. So just something like that. Just a bit of a change up. But the main issue is the bass line. I would say just rework that a bit, and I think that would make a big difference. All right, so next up we've got Press Bible Thump with Crunk for Christ. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Press Bible Thump with Crunk for Christ. And this one's interesting because at the beginning I was kind of confused because you had these pauses, these little gaps there, and I was like, "What's going on here? Like, was there a mistake or something?" But then when you brought in the main lead synth, that's what made a big difference right there. So I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what he's doing." So that sounds good. I wouldn't recommend those little spaces, little gaps there, but definitely, you know, what you have right there sounds really good. The main synth and all that. The low end synth that you have at the beginning, that I guess that represents your bass line right there. So that right there, I think it's really good. I think the only thing really is the drums. Like, they sound good. I just think that because of this style of beat with that synth, the way you're going with it, it sounds kind of gutter in a way. So I would say those drums are a little too clean for that. You know, at least for my liking, I would say they're a little too clean. So I would say maybe just try to, you know, I don't know if it's we're talking about like compression or just some sort of like maybe a compression and filtering on the drums a bit. If you have a plugin that you can do, you know, some kind of drum filtering on, I recommend trying that and stuff. And I even did a video about that a while back with that program. What's it called? Decimort, I think it was. Anyway, try something like that, for example, and you'll see it makes a big difference on your drums. But anyway, just something like that. But still, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I mean, but it does sound really good as is. But I just think that the drums, I think, could be a little grittier. You know what I mean? But other than that, I like it. All right. So next up, we got Chamba Beats with Dignity. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Chamba Beats with Dignity. Now for this one, it's weird because it's a really good beat. It's a good head nodder. I really enjoyed it, but it's just you got this like hollow thing going on in the mix. You know, it sounds like it's kind of in the back room. You know what I mean? Like, you got to tell me, like, what did you do for the mix? Because was that on purpose or what? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on because, you know, it's hard to tell sometimes just listening and stuff. But I'm willing to overlook it a bit because, you know, when you did bring in those different synths, you know, that are flying in and out, they do sound really good. It kind of masks it away, that hollow sound. But still, as it went on in the mix, I was like, I can still kind of hear it and stuff. So I don't know. But still, it was a really good beat itself. I just think that that mix, I mean, maybe you're just going for that sound, for like this hollow type of sound. And I mean, I get it. That's fine. I mean, it depends what you're going for. But I don't know. It just kind of threw me off. Like, I'm not used to hearing something like that, you know, in a mix and all that stuff. But still, the beat itself, really good head nodder. Drum pattern's really good low end and everything. And I really like how the synths are just flying in and out. But you gotta let me know about that mix, what's going on there, because I just found it kind of odd. But anyway, still, very good beat. I like it. All right, so next up we got the last beat. It's Wally Dank with Afro House. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Wally Dank with Afro House. Now, for this style of beat, like, I'm not crazy about that type of style of the flow of the beat, but I do like the vibe of it and what you're doing with it. And the first thing I was thinking was, you know what? Keep everything as is. It's just that once you brought in once you sped it up with the percussion and then like that little synth and all that, all these little sounds coming in, you know, I would say like, okay, keep it, but do one of two things. Either you have a drum track that's light, because it sounds like you're going for like this like light groovy vibe, right? With like not really, you know, trying to accentuate the drums or whatever. So either you have like some drums that are just kind of faint, you know, something light. Not really, let's say like a snare, but more like, you know, like a little bit of a wood block, you know, instead of a snare. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know, if you do a pattern like that. Or you do for like a full-on drum track, something that just hits hard. Because I'm just thinking, I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, imagine this, but with some hard drums on top. You know what I mean? Not a crazy pattern, but just like some loud drums on top. I think that'd be really, really good. So I don't know. Try something like that if you want to, change it up, whatever. But try something like that. But still, I like what you have. It's just that for me, I'm just expecting to hear some drums dropping in, something a little harder than what you have, So right now, it's just I know you're focusing more on like percussion and all that stuff. But for me, I would expect, and I would probably do. I know I would do, like a hard drum pattern and stuff. So, but for what you have, I do like the sounds of it and the vibe of it and stuff. But for me, it's just the drums. I need some drums, man. But yeah, all right. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat is, the winner is, drum roll please. Chamba Beats with Dignity. Let's check it out.